Okay, we're gonna see if this actually created the account. My Wi-Fi is not this slow. I forgot to put A level in the title. Okay. Make this a bit bigger. This one doesn't really need to be open. I forgot to put A level. Yep. So I'm pretty much, I just downloaded the paper. It's actually just disappeared. No, it's on my desktop. It's this one. I'm just gonna walk through the paper basically. I'll send it to like Mohammed or something. Single page continuous. So max. Okay, we're gonna ignore this because I'm answering them individually. And keep I'm not on an iPad or anything. So I'm on this spooky thing involved. Which description of biological molecules is correct? Okay, so we're just gonna go through what's right, what's wrong, and then annihilate what's wrong. DNA and RNA are both polymers. Polymers are made out of monomers. Oh wait, that could be right actually. DNA. This is like a 50-50. I don't actually know, so that's actually kind of bad. Hydrolysis of sucrose. Nope. All molecules are made out of alpha glucose, all the disaccharides. The only thing made out of beta glucose is cellulose. So the splitting of sucrose does not produce that. It produces fructose and alpha glucose. Proteins are polymers of amino acids. That's correct. Amino acids. I suppose the polypeptide chain is actually the polymer, but then that folds up into a protein. But we break down with hydrolysis. It's even stated here, hydrolysis of. We use hydrolysis to break down, condensation to bring together. So we know this one's wrong. Starch is a polymer of the monosaccharide maltose. I don't actually know what starch is made out of, but I know maltose is a disaccharide. Maltose is 2-alpha glucose. So this is literally just wrong. Maltose is not a monosaccharide. So one should be A, which I thought was right, but I was like 50-50 about. It's going to be really embarrassing when I go through these and I get them wrong. Biology papers, A-level papers, processes. I've done this paper before, but I did it literally like a year ago. Like when did I? Yeah, I actually, 2020, what's the date today? And my interview was on the 8th. So yeah, the last time I did this paper was actually a year ago, so I wouldn't really count that. Yeah, I just want the mark scheme. We're just gonna go single page continuous. Okay, first one is A. Obviously, when you're actually doing, if it depends how you are confident with exam time. I'm really confident with exam time for biology. I can finish a paper within half the time in like an hour. So this is why I can go through it slowly. Which thing about lipids is correct? What I don't really know. Esterification of glycerol and free fatty acids. Okay, you have to know this. Phospholipids is made out of phosphate group, two fatty acids, to a glycerol. So it's missing the phosphate group. So that's wrong. So this thing's basically a stupid question. So which statement about lipid is correct? I'm like, I don't know exactly what a lipid is. It's just essentially it's just which statement is correct. We know that's wrong. Phospholipids containing unsaturated fatty acids. Okay. So saturated is when there's CHH. When it's unsaturated, there's a double carbon bond. I would love to draw this on the iPad, but I'm not going to. So if it's unsaturated, there's a double carbon bond. This produces kinks, which does increase the fluidity of the membrane when you're freezing, because it pushes the spaces out. But then it can also disrupt it when it's hotter. So I'll give that a 50-50. Triglycerides are good energy stores. Polysaccharide, nope. This is on the spec, but this is what you know from GCSE. Fats produce per gram 9 kilograms. I don't know this from GCSE. I know this from flipping reading labels. Polysaccharide, monosaccharides, that's starch. Starch just has less calories per fat, so that's wrong. Triglycerides form the bilayer. Oh no, phospholipids form the bilayer. So, I was 50-50 about that. Oh my lord. It's like playing strings on a guitar. Anyway, 2 should be B. Yep. Yeah, it's be very embarrassing if I confidently say one's wrong. That's right. Which of the statements about the structure of amino acids is not true? It all talks about amino acids, so I would literally get rid of all this and just say which statement not true. Amino acids contain an amino and carboxyl groups. Well, the amino is an NHH. Carboxyl, it does technically have. I'll draw this one. It has a carboxylic acid at the end. This is technically a carboxyl group, so I would say that's true. Amino acids contain. Okay, that's just false because the amino group contains a nitrogen. It has an NHH at the end, so we'll get rid of that's bumperclot. Has a unique R group. That's true. The R group, the amino acids can be put. That's true because they can be. There's like so many combinations. It can be anything. 3 should be B then. Yeah. Oh. Okay. I don't actually know what I'm gonna do here, so I'm just gonna let me make this text black. I know collagen is a fibrous protein. It's used in hair plus skin. And then we know what fibrous proteins are, hopefully. It's flexible. Could be. It's the main component found in hair. Was that keratin? It allows alveoli to recoil. Nope, that's elastic protein. That's elastic protein, okay? It dissolves in water. We know it's in hair and skin. Well, I don't know about hair so much. I know it's in skin. Does our skin dissolve in water? No. It's flexible. Here's the thing. Our skin is flexible. but I don't think it's the main component found in hair. I'm pretty sure it's mainly found in skin. I think hair is like keratin. No, that's what I don't know what's found in hair. I'm pretty sure it's flexible though. Anyway, if we just look at the question, it says is a feature. Is the main protein found in? Is that really is that a feature? Does that make something a feature? Like, I'm gonna go C. I'm gonna go C. Oh, okay. So so this just means it's false. I'm gonna search it up. I'm gonna use ChatGPT. I know we shouldn't be doing this in the middle of an exam, but I don't think they're gonna ask another question like it. What is the main protein in hair? Carrot. I was right. Yeah, it was keratin. So that was just wrong. And then I know from looking at facial products, they say high in collagen because collagen, but it's not a proven thing. Anyway, yes, that's 4 out of 4. Increase in page analyzation somebody causes the rate of reaction to fall by 90%. The rate of reaction returns. Okay. That seems to make sense. Breaks hydrogen bonds, changes the active site, whereas returning allows them to reform. Yes, yes. Binds more tightly. Thing is, this is assumptions. We don't know. It could become more loose. It could become more tight. Most likely, it's going to become more loose though, because it denatures. And when it denatures, it means there's a point of no return. It returns, so it's not actually denatured yet. Reducing the pH below, wow, it's increased. We're not even told about it being reduced. So this should be A, and boom, okay, 5 out of 5. If I get 100%, I'm probably going 100%. It's a type paper. Which of describes movement of water through a plant? I hate this. I like doing the movement through a plant. I know it has to go through the Simplast pathway. Has to go through the Simplast pathway to pass through the Casparian strip. And the Simplast pathway is cytoplasm, so I'm pretty sure it's that one. An apoplast pathway is the cell wall. Water can move across the root because plasmodesmata doesn't travel through plasmodesmata, it travels through the cell wall. Water is drawn at xylem because it adheres to the surface. It's cohesion between water molecules, I'm pretty sure. Water moves spiralizes from, no, it reduces down. So I'm guessing 6 is A. I wasn't even sure about that, but okay, so I'm not gonna Google it. I'll do questions. That's my weak topic I need to work on. The heart is correct. Contraction of ventricles and there's ventricosystole. Systole, whatever you, well, that seems right. Deoxygenated blood No, veins return to the heart. And if it's pulmonary, that means it's through the lungs. So if it's returning to the heart from the lung system, from the pulmonary system, it must be oxygenated. So it's not that one. The pressure in the ventricles is always greater than in the atria because of the thicker. One, thickness of walls doesn't mean something has more pressure. That makes no sense. A house could have thick walls and a house could have thin walls. The pressure inside the house is still the same. And when the atria contract, the pressure of the atria is above the ventricles. Therefore, it pushes blood from the atria into the ventricles as everything kind of moves down a pressure gradient. So we know that's just wrong because it's not always greater. And that statement about the walls makes no sense. The wall of the left ventricle. Okay, one is less thick than the other, but the left ventricle, this is my left, actually pumps blood to the aorta, which is the systemic system, which is the entire body. So the left one is more thick. So that statement's just wrong completely. 7 should be A. Yep. We knew it from the first one. I just wanted to double check. Okay. Zoom out. The diagram shows absorption spectra of different photosynthetic pigments. It's not correct. Okay. Which is a statements. Oh, there's multiple statements in one. So I would just cross out statements is not correct. Absorption of light energy by accessory pigments such as chlorophyll B and carotenoids increase the efficiency of light harvesting. I suppose that's true. I don't really know. Chlorophyll A absorbs red light but not blue light. Okay, I don't know a lot, but what I do know, chlorophyll A is the main pigment in plants, which give them their main color, which is green. Green means it's reflective, so it's not absorbing green light. So I think this is actually wrong, because it should say red light, but not green light. Green light. Okay. So yeah, it should say not red light. And chlorophyll B absorbs blue light. I don't know the spectrum. I can't lie. So I don't know. So chlorophyll B is more produced when it's autumn, and autumn is when leaves turn red. So it means they're not absorbing red. So that's right. So they're most likely absorbing blue. However, this first statement's wrong, I think. So I'll actually just, yeah. Chlorophyll B and carotenoids are described as accessory pigments because they are not involved. So accessory pigments get excited and pass electrons to primary pigments, which are connected to the electronic transport system by some way. So I think this is right. They're accessory because they're not directly connected to the electron transport chain. Therefore, they're not a part of the light-dependent stage of photosynthesis. The absorption spectra explain why plants appear green because they absorb red and blue. That's true. That's true. I suppose you would say actually, yeah, it would increase efficiency because we can absorb more wavelengths. So I'm actually more confidently going to cross that out. 8 is B, I'm hoping. Okay, we're 8 out of 8. But I hope those made sense. Am I actually streaming? Is there any packet? Look, dropped frames, 17%. What the hell? What's up with my Wi-Fi? Okay, and move on. Diagram shows some of the reactions that take place in the leaf of the flags. Oh, I had this question on my exam actually the other day. Okay, that's glycolysis. This is the Krebs cycle. This is the Calvin cycle. Is correct. One look. 6 turns produces 6 molecules of triphosphate. That's wrong. 6 turns, a Calvin cycle, 1 turn adds 1 carbon. As said there, 1 turn produces 1 carbon. Triphosphate is a 3 carbon with 2 phosphates. No, it's a 3 carbon with 1 phosphate. So how could 6 turns produce 18 carbons worth of things? So we know 1 is wrong. So anyone with 1 is just incorrect. So it's C. We'll just look at triphosphate from the Calvin cycle can be recycled to replace bisphosphate. That's true. That's how we remake it. That's true. It even says it right here. So yeah, so that was actually pretty easy. Like if I was in an exam, should be able to answer that one in literally like 20 seconds tops. Okay. This isn't a fucking neuron. I don't know what the fuck that is. That's just funny. An effector is a muscle. Hold on. Let me show an example of what an effector is. An effector, yeah. You've got the vein popping through. Okay. I'm going to stop now because I'm not funny. Okay, an effector binds to a muscle. So it's a motor neuron, right? It's a motor neuron. That's, I don't even know what the fuck that is, to be fair. I think that's a sensory neuron. No. Yeah, this is a relay neuron. Okay, hold on, sorry. Let me go first. A motor neuron doesn't have dendrons, right? Because dendrons take in information. Motor neurons only have dendrites. This is the only one with just dendrites. It doesn't need like to propagate out. It only needs to take in signal, send one out. So for example, this is my biceps. This is someone's going to punch me. Someone's going to do something. A pencil flies in the air. All these things can come in. They're all going to activate my bicep. So you should just know generally a motor neuron looks like that. But yeah, that's a motor neuron. This is, I don't think that is a neuron. I don't think that's real. This is a sensory, this is a relay neuron. This is a sensory, I don't actually know. All I know is that it's C. Okay, so that's 10 out of 10. Yeah, again, I'm taking longer on this, but I could actually get those done in a couple minutes. Okay, so I should have read the question. Usually, I can just skip straight to the thing and assume I know it. Okay, the arrow is illumination. Okay, experiment 1. correctly explains. Experiment 1 shows that auxin increases cell division on the shaded side. Yeah, that's right. Experiments 1 and 2 show that photoreceptors are in the tip of the seedlings. Okay. That's also true. Experiments 1, 3, and 4 show that electrical signals. Well, it's permeable and so electrical signals can go through and it still went through. So electrical signals don't control it because they were blocked by a. They weren't blocked by permeable, they were blocked by impermeable. Experiments 1, 3, and 4 show that soluble inhibitors of elongation move down the shaded side. I don't know why they use shaded here and illuminated here. But we just know auxins travel down the shaded side to promote elongation. So we didn't have to look at the experiment because that's wrong. Okay. This is where you got to think. This says shows auxins increase cell division. There's no mentioning of auxins in this thing. It could be anything. So that's right, but the experiment doesn't show that. 1 and 2. I think it's B. I think 11 is B. I would ask Google, but I think it's because of that. Yeah, it doesn't mention auxins, so I could have got. That's why you have to check all of them. I would have got caught out, but I got it right. Which of the statements about communication systems correct? Communication systems. Cell signaling acts only over short distances. Like, what's meant by cell signaling? It's not. Is it on about crossing the synapse? Because my brain goes all the way to my toes. A whale's like, no, that's wrong. That is wrong. Communication systems are required to coordinate responses to maintain a near constant internal environment. That's also wrong, because what about ectotherms? They don't have a constant internal environment. Effectors that respond to hormones don't respond to nervous stimulation. No, because the adrenal glands can respond to nervous stimulation, such as straight from to the brain, and from hormones, which I don't actually know, but I know it can respond to hormones. Plants don't require communication systems. Maybe I'm wrong. They do have communication systems, no? Okay, let me relook on these. I Factors that respond to hormones. Yeah, we know that one's wrong. The homeothermic. Yeah, that's just too broad. I think that's right. Cell signaling acts only over short distances. No, because technically cell signaling occurs with hormones, and you can release that. Yeah, so it's not. I think it's D. I can't think of anything else it could be. Fuck it up. Okay. I'm actually going to pull up the examiner's comments for that one because papers, processes, 2023. Get the examiner's report for question. Oh, we don't have a fucking question to ask. That's useless. No, because I should have knew that was wrong anyway. So, text pressure. What are the options? Short produces a generated potential that excel. That's basically right. Okay, what we know, action potentials, they go the all or nothing principle. I forgot what it's called, but there's no such thing as a larger action potential. It's all the same. Causes neural membrane to become less permeable. No, because we know DLOM, just speaking broadly, depolarization is from influx of sodium. Is sodium going to influx from being less permeable? No. So it's going to become more permeable. That's not happening. This stretch mediated. As a transducer converts pressure. That's right. Uses a generated potential. Not too sure. I think 13's A. Okay, I'm going to explain my thought process to why I thought it was A, not D. I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm sorry, I'm actually going to ask Gemini this. 3 and 5. That's correct. I don't know. My days. Okay. Exceeding a threshold value, that just seems like something the biology spec wants you to know. That's why I gave that one that mark instead of this. I think this is correct, but I think it's actually outside the spec. I don't actually know. I have to check that because Gemini doesn't like me. I need to increase permeability. Okay, so they absorb more red. More red. More red is absorbed, right? So more red leaks out 0 to 50. I don't really know about that one. It's completely disrupted at 60%. No, because it gets more. Okay, so we know 3 is wrong. It's not completely disrupted as it gets further disrupted. So that's wrong. That's wrong. And now we're in a sticky situation. Because technically it is proportional. It would just be K times something. That is literally proportional. It literally goes bang, bang, bang. It literally goes through all the points. It is proportional. Herbology sometimes want to do the thing where if it's proportional, it has to literally be like 45, 45. I think two's right. I'm going to go B. 14B. Oh, yeah, that's right. Significantly greater than 50% compared to 40%, which statistical test? Okay, chi squared is expected versus observed. It's not a significant difference, not great, not significantly greater than. So that's relevant. That's just to see if something's proportional. Oh, wait. I suppose that could actually be used. Standard deviation? No. T-test is used for means. If it's significant. No, you just use it to see if it's like proportional against something. I'm 90% sure it's just a t-test. It's good to know. No, it's not good to know because it biases judgment, but a lot of these are actually just t-tests. Stroke volume. Let me get some light in my eyes. Oh, so we weren't meant to spend more than 20 minutes. I spent 40, so that's pretty shit. But yeah, 14 out of 50. What's that? Definitely A star. Yeah, 93%. Okay, so we'll just go for that. German penalty, might as well not make it. Okay. Fucking hell. Use. Okay, cardiac output is stroke volume. Beats per minute times stroke volume in week 20. So I'm not going to write this out. This will just be, oh, it's all nice. 85. 85 times 80. What the hell? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0.25, 0.37, 357. Okay. 80. Okay. What I would put then is 712.5 unit centimeter to the power of 3 per min to the minus 1. Say an advantage. So increased blood being pumped around. Blood delivered to the placenta. More nutrients. Oxygen for baby. Faster rate / faster removal of waste products from baby. CO2. The thing is, yeah, it just says say an advantage of increased cardiac output. It doesn't actually say specifically for pregnant women. So I'd actually say / aspiring sows. Okay, I like to mark question by question, so I'm going to do that now. 71.25 centimeters cubed per min. 3 marks there. More blood to cells. More oxygen, glucose, amino acids to cells. Eat fast. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't actually say. It didn't actually say in the question if it's to do with a turn or anything. Finish the data of figure 6.1 and 16.02 and drew the following conclusion as cardiac. Okay, so what we can just get from here is that cardiac output overly did increase linearly. This conclusion is not good. It's not good. Because actually, as arterial pressure was highest in the 37 to 40 weeks, whereas stroke volume was cardiac output. Oh, bro, it glitches out like that. I gotta flip in, save it, and then reopen it. Hold on. Credit output was also the highest. Let me zoom out a bit. However, it can be true. 17 to 20. Week 17, 20. Week 17 to 20 had the lowest pressure, but a significant increase in cardiac output. Nine to 20. So trend follows 9 to 20. Radar? That's like just a free throw. I don't actually know what that I would not spend that much time on that question. That's actually a really bad question. I'm not too sure how I would actually answer that. So yeah, that's okay. Fusion is valid. So I got a mark for that. Is not valid from. Okay, so I got 1 mark for that. And I got 1 mark saying it's not valid. I'm sorry, I've been off my game. I should have. Okay, sorry. So I didn't talk about describe the flow left side of the heart. It doesn't really matter. You just do the whole sequence and just right, left. So it goes atrium to ventricle to the ventricles to the aorta. That's pretty much it. And explain the roles of valves. So it's pretty much just how does blood flow and go in detail these increasing. So when the blood flows in, pressure gradient, intraventricular pressure, then atrioventricular valves Left side is the stronger side. This is the bicuspid valve. Cupid valve are opened and blood flows into the ventricles. Valves contain tedious cords to ensure they do not flip/turn. Turn/change shape. I think that's just a fact I just added in there. Blood fills the ventricles. When full, the ventricles contract and pressure is above that of the aorta. Then we want to link this back to the thing. The atrioventricular valve ensures blood does not enter back into the atrium. Ventricle contracts. Blood now leaves at high speed into the, not velocity, into the aorta to be pumped around the systemic route. That would expand out to enough in words. Flow of blood and include statements about roles and blood and pressure difference. Return atria via pulmonary vein. I actually got that wrong, but I said, okay, yeah, I got that wrong. So I'd lose a thing mark there. But I said left atrium. Left ventricle to aorta, so I got blood flow right. What about black flow, close pressure difference, atrium? I explained opening to pressure difference, atrium, vesicles, and semi. I did say semilunar, right? Yeah. Yeah, I explained pressure differences. Yeah. I'll give myself a 5 because I lost a thick communication mark, but I pretty much went through everything there. A change that occurs during pregnancy is an increase in oxygen uptake by the mother. This is probably due to an increase in the mother's metabolic rate. I didn't actually read that question at all. Increase in oxygen uptake. For a mother's hemoglobin, for a fetal. So we know the fetal must take it from the mother, so it's gonna end up like this, but it's just gonna end up like that. You know what I mean? Hold on. Let me just make sure I got the mark. To the left. And not exceed 96. Yep, so I got the mark there. Sigmoid. Okay. Fetal hemoglobin have higher affinity for oxygen So what is oxygen? I think that's all I could really say. So I'm forgetting to explain my point. Yeah, fetal has higher affinity. Oxygen dissociates. Oxygen diffuses from maternal. Okay, yep. I said changes blood, dissociates, higher affinity. So I got 3 marks there. I should have said something else. I should have said increased saturation. That's just some. I might actually take a break because I kind of want to take a nap. I can't lie. I might do that. Changes to kidney function. Oh, I have biology tomorrow. Okay, so we're just going to do the calculation. So it says healthy is this. Yeah. Decreases in page, pregnancy increases. Okay, so we got 107, no, 162 divided by 107 equals 50% increase, which is rate of increase of EGFR, which is in the range of increase of GFR for pregnant ladies. Okay. And now we're just going to do why patient A is pregnant. Glucose concentration is normal. And blood filtration is normal. I don't know why. I don't know why these are high. I would just say this can be possibly side effect pregnancy. Whereas patient B has significantly lower EGFR. I'll just do 30. No, you do change 30, 35, take away 107 over 107. 6, 7. Oh, it should be. Blood glucose being high, meat being slightly high means kidneys are failing at reabsorption in parental convoluted tubule and perhaps low risk capillaries are damaged, so glucose is being reabsorbed into the blood. Just nip it out. Same for the electrolytes. And then I'll just say urine glucose and urine protein can be effects of the pregnancy. I don't actually know what it would be due to. The line. Okay. I don't actually know that. What is EGFR? Oh, because we got 1, we got 2, we got 3, and we got, yeah, so we got 4 marks. Because I got the in line with pregnancy, lower EGF 70%. I said no ultrafiltration. Oh, I didn't say ultrafiltration. I said something else. I'm actually going to stop there. I'll do another one in a minute. I'm going to read a book.